station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4.
Here's a look at today's top stories all across the DMV.
A wrong-way collision kills the driver of a car and sends more than a dozen bus passengers to the hospital. We're live with what we've learned about the crash.
And it's going to be a beautiful night out there with cool temperatures and sunshine returning for your Friday, so definitely keep it here. Check that forecast is coming up.
And hitting the road for Labor Day. Stick around. We're talking about the best times and the worst times to travel, as well as ways that you can stretch your dollars before you do.
And thanks for joining us on this Thursday for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Annalisa Gale. We'll get to those top stories shortly, but first let's take a look outside. Beautiful look at the National Cathedral here, Mark. Did you enjoy it?
A rather picturesque day, not too hot, little breeze going, and again, no rain to speak of.
All right, let's get over to forecaster Brittany Ward now for the latest. What can we expect for the rest of the evening, Brittany?
It's going to be beautiful, guys, for you guys to get outside, maybe look at some stars tonight. Overall, we will be dry and quiet as we head through your evening. Here's a look at satellite and radar, showing you the overall picture. We have that cold front still acting like a wall when it comes down to the tropics, keeping us quiet, and then high pressure will begin to work its way into our area as we head through your evening tonight and into your Friday, and that's going to be keeping us quiet. So right now, zooming it into satellite and radar, you're noticing not even a cloud in sight. Clear skies will be the trend as we head through your evening, and overall we're going to be holding up to the sunshine as we head through the rest of your Thursday. 78 expected to be the outside temperature as we head into that 6 o'clock hour, 77 as we head into the 7 o'clock hour, and overall it's going to be a very nice night out there. Temperature wise, stepping out the door right now, still fairly warming in the nation's capital, 82 currently here. Then as you head further off to the north and west, we start to see our temperatures dip down mainly into the upper 70s. If you do plan on grilling as we head into your holiday weekend, it's shaping out to be very nice. Heading into your Friday, still going to be quiet with lots of sunshine. Holding on to the sunshine as we head through your Saturday and Sunday, but take a look at Sunday's temperatures. We begin to warm it up back in the lower 90s, and then it looks like for Labor Day, we are tracking hot and humid conditions. So definitely keep it here. We'll have a full check of that forecast coming up.
Brittany, thank you. A first court appearance today for the man accused of shooting two Topgolf employees in Montgomery County Tuesday night. 28-year-old Cyprian Njahwe appeared for his bond hearing this afternoon. A judge denied his attorney's motion to move him out of holding to home detention. According to police, Njahwe shot those two employees, 18 and 23 years old, after an argument at that facility. He was arrested the next day in Ocean City, Maryland. Here's what his attorney had to say after that hearing.
He has very strong local ties. I think his career working in nursing home care shows that he's somebody who's of a caring nature. The allegations seem very out of character for the person that he's been in his life. He's not had the best traffic record, but he's not had a criminal record, and I think that says a lot for him.
And Njahwe has a preliminary hearing at the end of September.
Howard County police are investigating a deadly crash involving a driver who they say slammed into a Greyhound bus this morning after going the wrong way. The bus was carrying 38 passengers.
Our Leonard N. Fleming is live at Johns Hopkins Medical Center, where 11 people were being treated and released this morning.
Yeah, Leonard, what are police saying about what happened?
Mark and Annalisa, police have identified the 37-year-old driver as Samuel Isaac King of Columbia, Maryland. No one else was seriously injured in this crash. It happened around 3:30 a.m. on Route 32 here in Maryland, and police are still trying to figure out how it happened in the first place. Police say that King caused the head-on collision with the Greyhound bus on Route 32 near I-95. King was driving on the wrong side of the road when he hit the bus. Here is Howard County spokesperson Sherry Llewellyn on the crash.
what our investigators have learned is that the vehicle was traveling in the westbound direction, but in the eastbound lane, so going the wrong way in traffic, and it struck the Greyhound bus head-on. The driver of that vehicle, it was a Buick Enclave, was pronounced dead at the scene. We did have a number of people transported to local hospitals, but fortunately no one on the bus was seriously injured.
11 people were brought to this hospital behind me, but were treated and released earlier this morning. The unidentified bus driver was treated at the University of Maryland's shock treatment center in Baltimore, and there's no information yet from authorities on how that driver is doing. Others were taken to other area hospitals. Reporting from Johns Hopkins, Howard County Medical Center, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
All right, Leonard, thank you. Montgomery County Police are investigating a deadly crash involving a bicyclist in Germantown. It happened around 10 p.m. last night on Frederick Road and Plummer Drive. Police had that scene blocked off overnight. No word yet on the driver who hit the cyclist or whether that driver will be charged. Police also say that more vehicles could have been involved in this accident. One person who did not want to speak on camera told us that a lot of drivers speed in that area, and that road can be especially dangerous at night.
Drivers out here being irresponsible could cause an accident with a school bus or anyone in their car with their kids or stuff like that. I think this road needs to be brightened up a little bit.
Oh, police are waiting to identify the victim until their families are notified. Stay with DC News Now for more details.
And turning back to the district, happening now, Mayor Bowser is meeting with the owners of the 10 dogs who died in the flooding in the district earlier this month. Those dogs were killed after floodwaters rushed into the doggy daycare known as District Dogs in Northeast Washington. Earlier today, the District Dog signs were removed from the front of that building. The owner previously said that the location would be permanently closing. Mayor Bowser was previously criticized for not reaching out to the owners who lost their dogs. When asked about that meeting today, the mayor had this to say.
Oh, well, they asked me for a meeting, so I plan to listen to them. And certainly nothing I can say will bring their pets back. And it is unfortunate tragedy, and I'm sure they are experiencing a lot of loss and pain.
Our Daniel Hamburg is speaking with those families after that meeting with the mayor. That's happening right now. We'll have more from him coming up in a live report at 5.
A reminder happening tomorrow, the district is stepping up their curfew enforcement for young people 16 and under. It targets 7 areas, including Chinatown, Navy Yard, U Street, and Howard. The curfew runs from 11 p.m. To 6 a.m. throughout the week and midnight to 6 a.m. on weekends. During that same news conference earlier today, the mayor said that those who violate the curfew will be sent to the Department of Youth and Rehabilitation Service.
The difference between going to a police station in the middle of the night and going to DYRS gives us the opportunity to have them connect with officials whose job it is to work with kids who are at risk.
Mayor Bowser says the district has a, quote, laundry list of programs and services available to young people aimed at keeping them out of trouble.
Turning now to the Hill ahead of Labor Day weekend, the Biden administration is highlighting the impact unions have on workers.
A new report shows that the union participation is up. Capitol Hill correspondent Rashad Hudson has more.
The Biden administration is celebrating an increase in Americans joining labor unions.
No matter what you do, where you work, ultimately unions are helping to improve working standards.
Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo says unions help middle-class workers. A report released by the Treasury Department found that union workers earn wages that are 10 to 15% higher than their non-union worker counterparts.
Allowing Americans to organize is a fundamental thing that we believe in this country.
The report comes in the middle of several high-profile strikes. Film and TV writers and actors walked off the job months ago, and the United Auto Workers recently voted to authorize their own strike if they failed to reach a deal with major car makers. The report found that organized labor often has a spillover effect that also raises the wages of non-union workers, but not everyone accepts that idea.
And I just don't know that the logic works there. Unions can't both increase wages for their members and increase wages for everyone.
Maxford Nielsen with the Freedom Foundation says even with some positive benefits, unions are really about politics.
They are firmly aligned with the Democratic Party. The administration knows this, knows that it is in its political interest to promote unions at all costs.
Despite the criticism, the White House is calling on Congress to pass legislation protecting workers' right to organize. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.